Hey everyone, my name is Annalise Bronze, also known as Annalise Tech. I just want to go over and simply state that WGU did not create, nor endorse, nor approves of any of the content in this video. I had to just state that, because I was told to say that, but so my name is Annalise, and I am from the Northeast of the United States of America. I'm a hot 20-something, and this is going to be a very informal video of me being a student at WGU for the first time and me going through the MSDA DE program specifically. And I have not studied anything at WGU before. This is my first time, and I got my undergrad elsewhere at a bunch of other institutions, and specifically I got mine in specializing in data engineering, and so I wanted to go over that. I don't have any experience really in the data science programs or the other one, the decision processing specialization, but you can ask someone else for that. But generally you can probably apply some of the things I'm going to talk about if you're interested in those other fields there. And the whole objective of this video is because there's not a lot of students actually talking about what they've gone through and actually have gone into depth with it. And you see Reddit posts all the time, and I'm going to be mentioning Reddit a lot in this video. And the fact is that, yeah, you'll get like snippets here and there, but where's actually someone that actually has gone through it, and someone who has passed, and someone who has done it in a short amount of time. So if you're one of those people that, let's say, that wants to get this done, I will show you how, but then also I have the other way of actually taking your time, of actually being successful, of actually trying to get your foot in the door and wherever you need to go. So you got like a few paths here, just pick and choose whatever the heck you want. And honestly, so just wanted to put this out here and say that I am a part of the WGU's Owl Nest, and basically what that means is that if you're a student, you get to get the option of free merch. So if that's you, then I'm definitely going to put down the link below, and especially if you haven't, ignore my dog, by the way, but basically, if you have not submitted your application yet, and if you're interested in WGU, feel free to follow the link, because that way I get points, so then I get free merch, and then once you become a student, then you have the option of referring someone to get free merch. And it's something that the school actually does endorse and actually does provide, so it's official, so. And anyways, so a few more disclaimers, gotta put this out there. So I won't be talking about any performance assessments in detail. Obviously can't do that as much as I would love to. You know I have a lot to say about that, but I'm not going to. Or no test details. I'll just be very generic about it. Things that are already available online. And I'll be swearing, I'll be cursing, letting loose. This is my time. And, gotta, mazel tov everything up, and, just being bougie. And you can use the timestamps in this video, probably the ones that are going to be automatic, unless I want to be nice and generous and provide it for you in the description, whichever works. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Watch whatever the heck you want, honestly, at this point in my life. And so my journey at WGU, my background. So I have experience as a web developer for 2 years, and I was one of those pandemic coders during the COVID-19 pandemic. Crazy. And I wasn't even supposed to get into tech at all, and so that's how I got into it, just by being locked up. And I was just like, I need to change, I need to figure out what I want to do. And I thought tech was pretty cool, because why not? It's growing. I always like things that are innovative. I always like to create things, and I like problem solving. So that's what really drew me into the tech field. And also I worked as a data coordinator at, I'm not sure if I should name the company, because who gives a fluff? Okay, I have experience working after being a web developer. I have experience working as a data coordinator at 1-800-Flowers, and so that was interesting within itself. But so I do have some experience coming in, especially in the tech field, but not necessarily anything too heavy in the data analysis realm. But I definitely want to get deeper into the data analysis field, as well as getting my feet wet into the data engineering space. And so my undergrad is in business administration, so I have my BBA, and specifically in business management, and there I specialize in entrepreneurship. And so I have to say that what led me to the MSDA program specifically data engineering. So I was definitely in between data science and data engineering. You're going to see a lot of other students wonder the same thing. And of course, I chose data engineering because I wanted something that was just more dealing with infrastructure, and I definitely want to get into that as well. And I know that there's a lot of overlap between software engineering and data engineering itself. So ignore my dog. My dog's just barking. He wants a lot of attention, and I'm just giving him this football. And so aside from that, there's a lot of technical skill development as well. And there's a lot of just everything, technical development, making sure that I have the hard skills to pass these interviews for these data engineering roles, as well as everything else. Actually being successful, actually getting used to the technology that I'll be using. And so I'll go more into that later. And then also personal development. So I would say the personal side definitely overflowed and overridden my professional willingness to do this program. But, I was feeling kind of at the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I want to be bougie. Ignore my dog barking. Oh well. The fact is that I wanted to bust up. And, there's a lot of people coming in and out of my life. I'm like, no, we can't do this. And what's something that I can get that no one else can take away from me? That's what I was looking for. So I won't go deep into the personal stuff. Definitely want to beef up my resume, want to beef up everything and pass a lot of HR screenings, for example. So there's that. And my initial expectations of the program, I would say I thought it would be a little bit more structured in terms of some material, but I'll get more into that. And I also thought that it would make me a little bit more competent, I would say. I would say the program is definitely new. So in other words, I know that the program, when I started in November 2024, which means that WGU just launched this program where you have to choose between the 3 specializations: data science, data engineering, and decision process engineering. And basically, there was an old program. And then I was one of those students who were part of the new program. So I don't know what the old program's like, but I gotta let you know now that I'm a part of the new program, and I successfully did it. And I felt like I was being a test rabbit a little bit about it, and they could definitely have been. It was challenging and overwhelming because a lot of things were just not explained well. If things were just explained a little bit better, then I would have gotten a better grasp. And also, and I know that everyone has a lot of questions, so I'll get to it. But now I'm going to go more into the courses themselves. So I'm just going to basically read off a bunch of the courses, all 11 courses, because I dive deep. When I want something, I want to have it. And, I'm just done with everything, as I'm going to tell you, with everything. Okay, all right. So the first class in the MSDA program. So you're going to have a basic set of MSDA. Apologies for the camera battery delay. Honestly, I thought these batteries would be better, but anyways. So the data analytics journey for course 1, that's using where analytics is the creative use of data and statistical modeling to tell a compelling story that not only drives strategic action, but also results in business value. The data analytics journey uses the analytics lifecycle to conceptualize the processes, tools, and techniques for implementing data analysis, data engineering, and analytics product management. Learners gain fluency in gathering requirements, asking business questions, establishing evaluation metrics, identifying communication models, and align the analytics project's outcomes to business goals. It presents an overview of the various tracks offered in the program and the career options in these specializations. And so basically what that means is that it's a very theory-based course, and it literally only took me less than 24 hours to complete, and it's a very easy course to start off with. So if I were to have one of those tier ranking things, I would give that a solid C, only because I feel like it still should have been practical a little bit. I mean, even though it doesn't always have to be, but I was expecting to get some hands-on right off the gate there. But it's all good, and it was really easy. All you need to know is just the basics of data analytics, and you're set. And oh my god. And then with data management, so it's course 2, That means that data management builds proficiency in using both relational and non-relational databases. Topics include a section of a data storage architecture, data types, data structures, normalization and denormalization, and querying databases. SQL topics including DDL and data manipulation language are covered, including joins, aggregation, and transactions. Non-relational approaches to organizing and querying data are contrasted with relational approaches to build competency in adapting data storage architectures to business needs. So basically, Postgress and MongoDB. Enough said. Next course was the third course, which is analytics programming. Analytics programming builds algorithmic thinking using both the Python and R programming languages. This course builds from the foundations of programming. Learners use libraries and packages to perform common analytics tasks, including acquiring, organizing, and manipulating datasets. The course also presents methods for applying statistical functions and graphical user interfaces to perform basic analysis and to present findings. Pretty simple, pretty chill. And so that was pretty easy. So to be honest, between the three so far, the data management was actually a little bit harder than analytics programming, but that's only because I already have experience using Python. So with the analytics programming course, you want to make sure that you have a good grasp of knowing Python or R, to be honest, first. So pick one, or do both, or depend. Just pick one for each course, and then maybe you can swap back and forth because the courses don't really overlap too much, and obviously you'll be doing something different for each course. Anyways, okay, so then we have data preparation and exploration. This one, I literally kind of forgot what this one was. Course 4, data preparation and exploration. So data preparation and exploration applies analytical programming skills to the early steps of the data analytics cycle. Can't forget talk today. It's just one of those days. Anyways, this course covers cleaning data to ensure the structure, accuracy, and quality of the data, interpretation of descriptive and inferential statistics, as well as visualizations of data, and wrangling data to prepare for further analysis. This course introduces hypothesis testing, focusing on application for parametric tests, and addresses communication skills and tools to explain an analyst's findings to others within an organization. The following courses are prerequisites, whatever, all the courses I named before. Don't have much to say about that. Kind of a doozy, I blanked out. And then you have statistical data mining, and that is the 5th course here. Yes, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5th course. Statistical data mining focuses on concepts in data preparation and supervised and unsupervised machine learning techniques. The course helps students gain basic knowledge in statistics, data preparation, regression, and dimensional reduction. Learners implement supervised models, specifically classification and prediction data mining models, to unearth relationships among variables and are not apparent with more surface level techniques. The course also explains when, how, and why to use unsupervised models to meet organizational needs. The following course is prerequisites, although this one before. Okay. Not too bad. It was definitely just a little bit up and up, but you totally got this in the bag. And then the 6th course, I believe, is data storytelling for diverse audiences. Data storytelling for diverse audiences focuses on communicating observations and patterns to diverse stakeholders, a key aspect of the data analytics lifecycle. The course helps learners gain communication and storytelling skills in order to motivate change and answer business problems. It also covers data visualizations, audio representations, interactive dashboards, interpersonal communication, and presentation skills. So that was with Tableau, and it was okay. It was annoying a little bit, but as long as you are able to export the Tableau file, you're fine. I thought it was just a little but then once you got the hang of it, then it's fine. It's all good in the hood. So the next course was deployment. So this course had to be the most annoying. Can I just give this an F? A large ass F, because deployment is the practice of operationalization. I can't even talk. You have to ignore me. I decided to film a video today, so I'm feeling very rageful. And okay, let me start over. Deployment is the practice of operationalizing data analysis within a business environment. And given an analysis, learners determine the business functional and non-functional requirements for wider use and implement pipelines and functions to deploy analyses at scale. Topics include security, scalability, usability, and availability are discussed. And that one was just a pain in the ass. I don't even know what to tell you about that. It was just so confusing. And, like, what the heck did you want? Like, literally, what did you want? Tell me. Can you tell a bitch? Can you tell me? Tell all the tech bros. Obviously, you've taken data engineering before. That course is more of like a one-on-one for you. But if you're someone who's brand new at it and you're just seeing it the first time, you're like, what the heck is happening? Because that was me the whole time, honey. Let me tell you. And also, okay, so now we're diving deep into the data engineering specialization. This is where all the other specializations don't really apply to you, but oh well, you can still listen up and take notes. Whatever you gotta do. Data engineering for the next course. Cloud databases. Cloud databases covers the application of cloud architectures to large-scale data systems. The differences between cloud-native approaches to data architectures and smaller-scale systems are discussed, and learners apply cloud computing concepts to address specific business scenarios. Wasn't so bad. It really wasn't. Data processing. Data processing is the practice of automating data flow into and out of components of an analytics system and comprises a major part of the analytics lifecycle in modern organizations. Data processing covers concepts in extract, transform, and load pipeline operations on data at scale and variations of ETL as a function of data repositories, including data warehouses and data lakes. Streaming and batch data operations and their differences are discussed, and learners implement pipeline solutions in cloud-native environments. Wasn't bad at all. And we're coming up here on course number 10, which is Data Analytics at Scale. Data Analytics at Scale builds on previous data engineering courses and it discusses approaches for analyzing large data sets. The course discusses MapReduce approaches, Apache Spark, and cloud-native solutions for developing, automating, and scaling data analytics. Also discussed are methods of integrating data processing pipelines and data stores to create comprehensive data analytics architectures. So that was one of the ones from Udacity, and let me tell you, that was a pain in the frickin' ass. I gotta tell you. Like, who created that? Who? Let me tell you, I was looking at that, and I kept on reading the whole thing, their instructions and everything. I'm like, what the heck do I do? For real. Anyways, and I'm not complaining. I'm just stating facts here because, listen, if you are someone who's a huge techie, who obviously grew up, who is related to Steve Jobs and whatnot, then fine, good for you. But if you're someone like me, then no. And if you're like every other average-ass Joe out here, and I'm not saying that I'm average or anything, I'm just saying that if you're someone who just hasn't been exposed too much of DE stuff, then you'll be confused. So good luck on that. And the data engineering capstone, that was pretty open style. And hold on, let me read it first. The data engineering capstone has learners utilize the skills learned throughout the MSDA core courses and the data engineering courses to examine a problem where data engineering is a solution and to build a cloud-native infrastructure that allows for data processing. Learners are asked to implement their solutions and to tell a story using the data. Course material introduces the project and reminds learners of relevant learning resources from previous courses that will prove helpful in completing the performance assessment. That's basically, you can make it as data engineering-ish as you want it to be, and it can also still be remaining in the data analytics field. You don't even have to talk too much about data engineering, but of course you can if you want. And that one was actually fun. And I did mine on UFC. So I like UFC. I train in Muay Thai and kickboxing and some BJJ. So I chose something I'm passionate about. And I need to fill this up, yo. What happened here? Anyways, okay. Alright, enough with that. So now I'm going to go back to what else I had to say. So those are all the courses. I gave you an overview of what you're learning. And so now with time management and flexibility, I wanted to go over that in the WGU world. The fact is that I finished my whole degree, my whole master's degree, in 5 months. So I started in November, ended in April. I say, is it doable? Yes. But you got to be effective. You have to really plan it out. You have to think about your goals too. So let me tell you about the pros here, because by being self-paced, obviously you can be a working individual. I worked full-time at 1-800-Flowers. I had a social life, and I still kept up with everything else in my life and my personal growth and healing and whatnot. So that's what I did. And this is my dog, Sunny, by the way. He's just chilling for now. And so in terms of what else is good, you know, you can have a life. You know, you can take your daughter to ballerina class and take little Johnny to baseball, whatever you gotta do. But the fact is that with that, you have the flexibility, and that's what you like, and you can also get it done. The cons of all this, of being self-paced, is that, not many people might have heard of WGU. I know WGU pushes their advertising, and their accreditation is just as normal as it is as going to any other normal college in the United States, but that's a good thing. And I do have to say that with it being self-paced, you do want to keep in mind that, of course, you pay based on how long it takes you to complete the course. So if it takes you 6 months or less, you pay a certain amount. So I paid, I believe, like $4,500 around there, which is a pretty good steal for a master's degree. I mean, come on. I mean, for real, I paid out of pocket with no student loans, and that's what I did. But I wanted to give you some strategies for time management and work-life balance here. So I had everything going on in my life. I'm just like, fuck it. Alright, so I gotta keep on continuing on with this video. Some strategies for time management and work-life balance. Alright, so you gotta plan yourself out here. I gotta tell you, there will be some sacrifices. You will have to say some no to friends and some family. But the thing is that if you can do it right, you don't have to say no all the time. And the thing is here is that if you're working a 9 to 5, like me, then you got all the rest of the night to do it, but you also gotta take care of everything else, all your other obligations. So that means that you might be doing homework on the weekend. That's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. And you might be doing it at night. Hence the reason why there's an owl. There's Sage the Owl going on over here. And so that's the whole point, is that you gotta just whip it in the bud. You gotta just do it. I don't care what anyone else says. You don't need some fancy voodoo magic. You just need yourself. And you need to dig deep as to what and why you want to do this. You need to make sure that your purpose is stronger than anything else going on in the external. And so, I mean, honestly, between if you've got little chicken nuggets, if you've got little kids going on running around, it might be hard to study some data engineering, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And honestly, it's possible. And you gotta either delegate that stuff, or you gotta just really carve out time every single day. Every single day. I know it might be challenging. I know it might be hard. I know you might be risking some sleep and some other things, some lifestyle habits you got going on, but you gotta do it. And that's all I gotta say. I mean, other strategies, basically, you just gotta just plan it out. Really think about what you want to accomplish. And really pace yourself. And the thing is that you don't have to complete it in less than 6 months like I did. You can take your time. So really dig deep as to how much you want to spend, how much you want to be in school for, and what you want to accomplish there. Like, are you looking to get promoted? Are you looking for a new role? Are you looking just because your company's paying for it on their own company dime? You got to think about it like that. And honestly, okay. So let's go dive deep into the resources and support. You have your program mentor. So my program mentor, I won't name her, but let's just call her Diana. So Diana was very nice, very sweet, very supportive. I told her a little bit about my life. I said that, can you use me for a recommendation? She said yes. And I did talk about myself a little bit, the personal side stuff, and also the professional stuff. And she kept me going. She kept on sending me resources. The only thing I could say about her is that I wish she was just a little bit more responsive at times. I know she's flooded with a bunch of students, but, if I had the opportunity, I would have loved to have talked to her more. You can either choose to text her weekly, or you can choose a specific time to call her weekly on the phone. So that's what you gotta do. And in terms of online communities, you got Reddit. I mean, Reddit's like the real home of G. So you have the WGU_MSDA Reddit forum, which really helps me, and I was able to ask a bunch of questions. And honestly, I actually have multiple Reddit accounts, so chances are I might have spoken to you already. And honestly, I posted on there. People are very helpful. Just be very specific in your question and know how to ask a question. Provide screenshots, provide the directions, provide what you tried, and then also provide what is expected of you, and someone will answer your question for you. And then you also have your professors. So the professors, they're kind of hit or miss. I feel like some of them don't even know what the heck's going on, and that's the issue here. In terms of being able to train the next generation or next slew of workers here, it's important that the professors know what they're doing. They honestly do know what they're doing. It's just that I feel like they're very swamped, and if the professors cannot give their students that feeling, then that'd be great. And I know that one professor, I won't name names because I won't, but there was one that provided webinar videos, and that was helpful. So if a professor provides you with any webinar videos or any external sources, use them, or at least try to. You don't have to, honestly. And then you have the assessments and performance assessments, so the PAs. So basically, they're objective assessments, and basically you get a scenario, a fake-ass, mock-ass scenario, and then you have to just do a little project about it. And that's it. Then you submit it. Then you're good. Then you're done. And what you do is you fill out the questions, and you answer the questions, or you just do a little project, and then you submit it at the end. And that is usually through Word, through Google Docs. You know, they prefer the Docs file for it. They don't really prefer PDF so much. And they also have you recording with Panopto for presentations, so you want to make sure you have Panopto going. But then also, if you don't like Panopto, like I had problems with Panopto, then you can use another service. It was just challenging for me to find another software that was free that allowed you to actually share your screen and like record for however long you want to talk. But that's up to you. Honestly, it's up to you. Oh, and by the way, I gotta tell you, why is it someone from WGU told me to get a freaking webcam when I did not need a webcam at all to take any assessments? There's no standardized testing in this program. And the fact that I wasted $20, actually no, it was a gift, but still, for real, that was Chipotle money. I gotta tell you that. Anyways, okay, I'm not complaining. The thing is that I feel very sassy right now and I don't give a fluff. Anyways, okay. So now we have the career goals and program relevance. So my career aspirations is to be a data engineer, or at least to be a back-end engineer. That'd be great. And right now, you know, I'm in more the data analytics side of things at work now. I'm getting offers at new jobs and whatnot, so there's that. And how the program helps me. It helped me because it got my ass into high gear. It really made me focus on the basics of what data analytics is, data engineering is, but it's very basic. Very basic. So you'll be doing extra work outside of the program if you want to succeed and actually be competent and feel actual confidence for the roles that you're applying to and to be competitive in this world that we call Earth. And, okay, so dear WGU staff, if I had an open forum, I would say this to them. Okay, to incorporate the student's specialization, starting with the first course. So for example, since I'm data engineering, I would have loved to have the first course and all the other courses I've ever taken having to do with data engineering. I understand that data analytics, yes, important, yes, I will not knock that, of course. But the fact is that based on your specialization, there should still be some more flavoring or more essence of what you're specializing in. Because let me tell you, you know, you have a bunch of other things that you can learn where I felt, if you look at job descriptions for data engineers, you got some machine learning up in there, you got some ops up in there, you have some IAC, you got Golang, Snowflake, Oracle, Firebolt, Mage, and Flink, and all these other technologies, and you're like, huh? And when you look at the job description, you're like, huh? And you can't have that anymore. We can't have that. I understand that people say, oh, just apply anyways and you can learn on the job. No. That's a valid point right there, but let me tell you, the fact is that these programs need to keep on being updated and keep on being revolutionized. And because as your favorite guinea pig of this program, I, as the Queen Annalise Tech here, I sacrificed. Alright? So anyways, I'm just joking by the way. But anyways, so basically having more, and if you are going to keep the data analytics stuff in there, which I'm sure that WGU will, have some more data analytics basics or things that a lot of career readiness skills should entail. Let me give you an example. Power BI. Where's the Power BI at? And also, where's the advanced statistical methods? And where's GDPR? And where's CCPA, etc. and so on and so forth. You know, there's a lot of opportunity. And honestly, I will, based on what I talked about with the courses, very nice, got me thinking. But still, as much as you can try to mock it up, it didn't feel as real as it should have. And the fact is that according to the impact report that I found out, I was able to ask the head researcher, and basically I wanted to get some stats here because, you know, of course I'm trying to be a data queen over here, and there's a lack of statistics about this school. So okay, based on the 2023 impact report, it wasn't even 2024, wasn't even 2025. I know we're not done in 2025, but there's no 2024 impact report. The soonest report that I got was 2023. And it says here that there are over 100,000 in 2023. Over 100,000 students enrolled. And then there are over 40,000 grad students at WGU. So you can do the math there, and that's what it says. There's nothing really specific in terms of who's in the IT, school of technology or anything. There was no breakdown. Very generic. And they could have, come on. Hire me. Come on, WGU. Come on. I want to know how many students are in the school of technology, how many students are in the school of education, etc. So what's up with that? And then also, I want to give you some general tips because I'm feeling generous. Queen Annalise is given right now. So okay. Tip number 1, turn your notifications on your phone. So basically what you can do is that ignore the train going in the background. I'll just wait. It's a little loud. Long ass train. What the fluff? Okay. Basically, you can turn on your notifications so your phone can receive text messages when you pass a course, when you submit a course, and when you fail a course. So turn that on for yourself. And obviously you will get emails about that, and you can actually see which notifications that you get. You can just change that in your settings. Tip number 2 is to join the Data Analytics Club. I was not able to join the club because when they had it, it was in Eastern Standard Time, and they literally had it exactly at 6 o'clock or during a time when I ended work, which was kind of annoying, and I'm just like, no, honey, I can't do it. You can't do it. I literally couldn't do it. So it was at 6 p.m. EST, and I'm an EST kind of gal, and couldn't do it, which sucked. But I heard that club, can create a lot of camaraderie, a lot of community, and has a lot of guest speakers, a lot of networking opportunities, a lot of resources. So get a part of that if you want to do that. And also, when you're doing your performance assessments or your PAs, focus on the green boxes. Don't even read the red boxes or the yellow boxes. It's like red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Focus on the green, not anything else. And that will help you guide yourself in terms of what to do. And you also want to make sure that you're reading the rubric, the green rubric, out of everything. So screw everything else, screw all the other colors. Green is the way to go here. And then also, so you want to make sure that your PA is evaluator-friendly. And what I mean by that is that you want to make sure that you answer each and every question in the order that it's being asked. Don't go out of order. And also, what you want to do is you want to just make it presentable for them. Show your screenshots, explain why you did what you did, and also make sure that you answer the freaking question. And make sure you answer it thoroughly. And then kind of talk about what you struggled with, because the evaluator will understand. And so usually my assignments were at minimum 15 pages long, with the screenshots, with the explanations, with answering the questions, with everything else. See, I don't know why this movie keeps on not recording anymore, but anyways, okay. So the next tip I have to say is to build your portfolio. That's tip number 5. And what I mean by that is that if you want to really make a portfolio ready, you can actually take some of the assignments that you do and that you turn in and then just elaborate on it and make it better. And then what you can do is either combine it with one thing or expand upon it, or just do your own thing and just make it more deeper and better in that case. And what you can do is just build your portfolio, man. Really just build it. Just take a similar scenario, or just keep on using the technologies and just combine it at the end, or really just focus on your capstone and go all in on that. That's what I gotta say about that. Alright, so the next tip is tip number 6, is to leave feedback on each course. So after you're done graduating, after you're told that, oh, look, you're done with your courses, all the course material is gone. It literally fades from your dashboard. So what you want to do is you want to leave feedback after each course that you complete right after. That way you're helping other future WGU students, and also you're giving back to the community, because these teachers, professors or teachers, instructors, whoever the heck you are, they need to know. And all these material designer learner people, they need to understand that this is our hard-earned money and we're trying to advance, and we're not messing around here. Like WGU students, we're very, very, very innovative, very impactful, and we're hardworking. And honestly, and we're someone that doesn't, generally speaking, WGU students, we have multiple things going on. We don't just study, we do other things too. So keep that in mind, really, honestly. And I thought I was able to leave feedback, but then by the time I got done with my capstone, everything just faded away. It sucked. Okay, tip number 7 is to be extra during your presentations. You don't have to be as extra as me, because I know I'm up there. If I had an award for being extra, I would have a whole stack of trophies right here. But the fact is that you specifically, you can really work on your presentation skills if that's what you want to do. You can be loud, you could really show enthusiasm. Why not? Really explain your topics and really dive into your decision making right there and your problem solving skills. Why not? Develop it right then and there. And usually my presentations, they vary in time, but usually at minimum it's 15 minutes. And so I'm a yapper, because it's Yap City over here, you know it, but at the same time, during your presentations, if you're going to go off, make sure you answer all the questions first and then go off if you want to, but whatever works for you. I mean, each evaluator only has a certain amount of time on you anyways, so you want to make it easy for them to give you an A and to make you pass. So basically, tip number 8 is have an accountability partner. I didn't have one because I was just accountable to myself. And obviously you can find an accountability partner by looking at the forums on WGU itself, or go on Reddit and someone will push you to do it and someone will check in on you. Or it could just be a regular friend that's not even a student, or whoever. I mean, it depends on what kind of person you are and how self-motivated you are. And then, okay, next thing. Tip number 9. Okay, testing Panopto. Panopto gave me issues in terms of, it took up a lot of storage in my computer, but that's my computer. It's really my thing and my problem. But the fact is that a lot of times Panopto was not able to pick up on my camera for some reason, which was annoying. And then, so that gave me problems. And sometimes Panopto wouldn't catch on to my audio. So you want to make sure you have a microphone. You want to make sure that you have enough time in terms of your timeline of submitting things that Panopto works. But other than that, yeah, I downloaded it and I use it, and I didn't use the desktop version, I used the app version of it, and just use it. And that's all I gotta say. And Panopto was good. It was a good software. I just wish that there were more softwares like that were just more free and everything. I wish, I remember using Loom way back when, but obviously now Loom follows a freemium model, but that's aside from the point. Tip number 10 is using Owl's Nest. So as a student, you get access to Owl's Nest, and if you are thinking about applying to WGU, please follow the link that I send you with the referral link, because, and the referral code, whatever the heck it is, because then I receive points, so then I can get my free merch. I would love to have a WGU hoodie, and if they did have one, then I would gladly have sweatpants, because that'd be nice, but unfortunately they don't have sweatpants. Otherwise, I'd be living in sweatpants all day. Can we be honest here? And the fact is that, okay, so Owl's Nest. That's basically where you just sign in every day, and you get points, and you do certain tasks. You are part of a community, and you can do certain tasks that WGU tells you to do, and then you get coins and points for it. And then you can redeem it and get some merchandise, some swag. So there's some opportunity for you right there. The fact is that some Q&A time. All right, so let's finish this out here. Let's be strong. So I'm happy to answer any of the questions that you have in the comment section. Please comment your questions if I did not answer whatever the heck it is. And so, has a degree paid off for me? Short term, I would say not so much. I would say it really has to do with, let's ignore the tech market and let's ignore the job market currently and any of the news that we're hearing here. Okay, aside from that, all you need is just one yes, pretty much. But the fact is that it hasn't paid off for me. I would say a lot of, when I go into interviews, yeah, it's great, but they also care about other things too, like the hard skills and soft skills that you bring. Not necessarily the degree, but it is nice in terms of passing HR screenings and confusing people as to what you do. A lot of people don't know what data engineering is, so if you have that in your back pocket, then that'd be great, especially if it could transfer over to being a data engineering role, or if it is for data engineering itself. I do have to say that in the short term, my degree helped me get into CodePath. I know it definitely helped me with that. It also helped me land a few interviews here and there. So it is a step in, but it's not all the way. And I don't have Google or Microsoft knocking on my door because, hello, I'd be banking it right now. I would stay there for 5 years or so and then leave and like start my own thing or whatever, but not the case here. But it's more about being able to refine your portfolio and your people skills and your interview skills. It's basically one part of the pie. If you have a pizza pie, it's only one slice out of the other 8 in total. So there's that. It could help you. It could be impressive, but I can't talk and speak for everyone there. And in terms of the long term, not sure, because it's June now and I ended in April, so still looking for new job opportunities, of course, and I'm just going to keep going. So that's my plan right there. But the fact is that I will let you guys know, like 1 year or 2 years down the line, somehow, perhaps, about how the degree worked out for me. And I am thinking about getting my PhD or getting another master's degree, because why the fuck not? And I just want to. I just like being in school, so there's that. Do I recommend the degree? So yes, I do. If you're someone who is wanting to know the basics of data analytics and data engineering, I have to say that yes, it is prestigious. Yes, it is more rare for someone to be studying data engineering, because I know software engineering is getting up there and computer science is getting up there. But if you are looking for something more sturdy, I guess, and something more rare, then you can do that. And in terms of payoff, in terms of what you're paying, especially as tuition raises at WGU, you want to just get in now if you really want to do it, and just do it before tuition raises. And also, I do recommend the degree in terms of being able to take a project and build it end to end. And that's like really important. And being able to explain complicated concepts and whatnot. So here's why I don't recommend the degree. The degree itself, it's great. It's a piece of paper, you can use it as toilet paper, but of course I wouldn't. But it could also be a good opportunity to show your employer that you're willing to learn. It's really good if your company pays for it. If you're someone that's trying to switch industries or switch your job title, then go for it. It's better than not having it, in my opinion. You can have that in your back pocket. HR people really like it. I find that. My dog is knocking on the freaking door. Ignore him. And I don't, in terms of it being your first introduction to tech, because like I said, I do have coding skills and programming skills. But if you're going hot into this right off the gate, then no. Honestly, because you'll be confused. But if you're someone that can learn, if you have the capacity to learn, then yes. But in terms of it being your first thing, like if you're someone who studied, let's say, underwater basket weaving, then I wouldn't go straight into this program. I would definitely just take other STEM courses in that case. But other than that, no. And then, how long does it take for you to receive your diploma? So what happened was, I'll tell you. So I graduated April 23rd. And then my transcription link, the digital version, the link to my freaking, what the heck it's called? Not transcription. Why did I write transcription here? My transcript here was sent the next day on April 24th. And then my digital diploma was received April 2nd. And then I received my actual physical diploma less than 2 weeks later from that. But then that copy came in ripped, which was not my fault. It just came in all ripped. And then I was able to get another one for free. And by the way, your diploma, once you get the physical copy, it's free. And then I had to complain and kvetch, and I said, okay, give me another diploma. And then they gave me another one. So I have 2 copies. One's ripped, one isn't. So there's that. But it's not really the school's fault. It's more about where they get their freaking diplomas from Parchment or wherever. And then, do you have any advice for finishing the program early? So the first thing I can say is to pass on the first try of the course. So what that means is that you can obviously take the course, take and try and fail, and then you have to get each and every green box checked off. And if you don't, then you're going to get it back. And sometimes the evaluators are annoying and they put a lock on your course where you have to speak with the professor or instructor to unlock it for you, to make sure you understand the material, and then they'll unlock it for you, which takes time sometimes. Sometimes professors and evaluators take forever. And what I mean by forever, it's not that long, but evaluators should return back your assignment within 72 hours or less. But the more you submit, the longer it's going to take, because then once you submit, then you have to wait another 72 hours. And so just look at the rubric and go from there, and you should be fine. And so in terms of a little formula I can give you, this is by Cal Newport, which I believe is a computer science professor, and he gave the formula of W equals T times I, which means work equals time times intensity. So what you want to do there is that you really want to think about the time that you're putting in and think about how hard you're working or how much you're focusing on what you're doing. And so if you can optimize that, then your workflow should be good. And whatever you gotta do, if you're someone that can work for 4 hours, if you're someone that can work for 4 hours straight or however long that you can, then go ahead. But if you need Pomodoro breaks, then go do that yourself. And then the next tip would have to deal with mentally focusing yourself. So it's definitely a mindset to do this and to definitely ask for help. But yeah, you definitely want to focus on what you gotta do and how you're gonna do it. And in terms of finishing quickly, you definitely want to tell your program mentor so then they can unlock the courses, because after a while, after your courses, you'll be considered accelerated and you'll be considered as an accelerated student. So you have to make sure that you're able to tell your program mentor, because they have to unlock it for you manually in order for you to take the next course. So you want to definitely focus. So how can you focus? Well, you can do that by exercising. You can do that by hanging out with friends, learning how to discharge from technology. You can do that by doing a puzzle. You can do that by doing hobbies and things that you like and being focused on your work. Or what you can do is try to allocate your time and your energy efficiently. I'm not talking English, it's fine. It's all good. And basically, I wanted to say that I have some social media. I'm not really that active, but in case I ever do, in case you ever want to follow me and ask questions, I'll definitely be more likely to follow the Annalise Tech on YouTube comments, but I'll just give my social media handles. It's at Annalise Tech right there. And like I said, you got Owl's Nest. If you want to become a student, let me know, let a bitch know, and I can help you. But I definitely want to close out here and say thank you so much for freaking coming on here. I know it's been a minute. I know I've been going through a lot in my personal life, so I definitely wanted to get this video out because I received so many comments on Reddit. My post kind of went viral and it got a lot of views and a lot of questions, so what I answered covers them all pretty much at a clap. And right now, in terms of what I'm focusing on, I'm working on more of the data analytics side of things before transitioning to a data engineering role and honing on the DA stuff for the DE stuff. But I want to just dive headfirst into the DE. if I had to redo it all over again, it's tough. It's really challenging balancing between finishing fast and creating a quality portfolio, which was like the number one thing. Okay, first of all, no. Yes, it's between deciding and being able to balance out the time that you want to finish and the time and all the interview prep kit stuff. So you have your interview skills, soft and hard, and you have your projects, and you also have the actual applying to jobs and networking and whatnot. So I would say I was more focused on finishing more so than my portfolio and actually learning the material itself in depth. So it really just depends. But the good thing that WGU does is that they provide a lot of external sources that you can use, such as DataCamp, such as Udemy, such as LinkedIn Learning. So you have that at your disposal, but it's pretty much all I have to say. I know it's not as specific as I wanted it to be, but of course, in order for me to keep this video up, I have to be more generic. But, like I said, I'm Annalise Tech, and I'm coming in here, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening to me rant, and we'll talk soon. See you later.